This is a hot take from the Small Business Cybersecurity Guide.
There's a special kind of rage reserved for the moment your security product becomes the thing you've to defend against. Not malware pretending to be security software. Not some dodgy toolbar from 2009 called SuperSafe Browser Shield Pro. I mean the actual security stack. The thing you pay for. The thing your board asks about. The thing Microsoft tells you is part of a serious, modern, joined-up, enterprise-grade defense. And then along come GreatXML and RoguePlanet. One looks at BitLocker and says, nice encryption you've got there, shame about the recovery environment. The other looks at Microsoft Defender and says, wouldn't it be funny if the anti-malware engine helped me get system? And yes, apparently it would. I'm Noel Bradford, and this is a Small Business Cybersecurity Guy hot take. Today we're talking about GreatXML, RoguePlanet, Microsoft, a very angry researcher, and the uncomfortable little question nobody in Redmond wants printed on a mug. What happens when the safety rails become the attack path? Because that's the bit that matters. Not the drama, not the GitHub bans, not the slightly theatrical hacker opera playing out in public. The real issue is this. Small businesses have been told to trust BitLocker, trust Defender, trust Windows recovery, trust the Microsoft security stack, trust the dashboard, trust the green tick, trust the bundled licensing. And then we get a run of vulnerabilities that make that trust look less like strategy and more like wishful thinking with a Microsoft logo on it. Let's start with GreatXML. It isn't Yellowkey that caused all the fuss a week or three back and really upset the tinfoil hat brigade. It sits in the same awkward BitLocker and Windows recovery environment neighborhood, but it's a different issue. The public research describes a path involving WinRE, Defender offline scan state, and an answer file called unattend.xml. If you've ever built Windows images, you know unattend.xml. It's meant to automate setup. It's meant to make deployment easier, because nothing says enterprise elegance quite like leaving a magic XML file around that can change how Windows behaves. What could possibly go wrong? In this case, the claim is that under certain recovery conditions, that answer file and recovery state can be abused to get access where BitLocker was supposed to be protecting the machine. Let's be fair, this isn't someone in a hoodie remotely opening your laptop from a coffee shop in Latvia. The CVSS vector says physical access. That matters. If the attacker needs the device, your risk model changes. But let's not do the usual vendor comfort dance. It requires physical access isn't the same as it doesn't matter. Laptops get stolen. Directors leave devices in taxis. Staff work in hotels. Finance machines go home in rucksacks. And when BitLocker is sold as the answer to lost device data risk, anything that weakens that promise is a serious problem. Then we've RoguePlanet. RoguePlanet is nastier in a different way. It's a Microsoft Defender local privilege escalation issue. Microsoft has acknowledged it as CVE 2026-50656. The public analysis describes a race condition in the Microsoft malware protection engine. In plain English, the attacker plays a timing game. Defender checks something, the attacker swaps something. Defender then acts on the wrong thing, and the reward can be system-level access. That isn't a minor oops. System is the big chair. System isn't Dave from Accounts click something and now Word is sulking. System is the machine saying, fine, you're in charge now. And again, let's be precise. It's local privilege escalation. The attacker needs a foothold first. But here's the bit security people care about. Attackers often do have a foothold first. Phishing gets them user-level access. Dodgy scripts get them user-level access. Stolen credentials get them user-level access. The question then becomes, can they climb? RoguePlanet says, yes, let me hold your beer, and you may use the security engine as the ladder. So who am I furious at? Microsoft? The researcher? Both? Yes, but not equally. Microsoft gets the bigger portion. Why? Because Microsoft owns the platform. Microsoft owns Defender. Microsoft owns BitLocker. Microsoft owns Windows recovery environment. Microsoft owns the customer promise. You can't spend years telling small businesses that your integrated stack is the sensible default, then look surprised when people get annoyed that the integrated stack has started integrating itself into the threat model. Bugs happen. Of course they do. Windows is vast. Defender is complex. Recovery environments are messy. But that's exactly why the response has to be clean, fast, public, and practical. Not vague, not loyally, not we're working on it, while defenders are left staring at a Defender vulnerability management entry called TVM 2026-0001 and wondering whether their laptop fleet has just become a scavenger hunt. Now, does the researcher get a free pass? No, absolutely not. Dropping working exploit material into public view without coordinated disclosure isn't some noble purity ritual. It puts defenders on a clock they didn't choose. It gives criminals a free training pack, and it turns genuine technical research into a revenge tour. If your disclosure strategy looks like a breakup album with proof of concept code attached, maybe take a breath. But here's where the tinfoil hat gets a tiny outing. Just a tiny one. When a researcher says Microsoft mishandled their reports, their account, their bounty, and their reputation, I don't automatically believe every word, but I also don't automatically disbelieve it. Because big vendors can be brilliant at engineering and absolutely hopeless at handling the humans who embarrass them. The public record suggests a mess. Microsoft criticized public disclosure. The researcher escalated. Repositories moved. Accounts vanished. Statements were clarified. And defenders were left doing what defenders always do, cleaning up after rich people's process failures. So what does this mean for a small business? It means stop buying comfort, start buying outcomes. BitLocker is still worth using. Defender is still worth using. Microsoft security tooling is still a serious part of the modern SMB stack, but none of it deserves religious faith. Do you use TPM-only BitLocker on every laptop? Fine, but should higher risk devices use TPM plus PIN? Probably yes. Do you know which machines have Winery enabled? Do you monitor recovery partition changes? Would you spot an unexpected boot into recovery? Do you know if Defender offline scan has ever been run? Do you have application control? Do you have useful logs? Do you have an EDR that notices strange parent-child process chains? Or are you just hoping the green tick remains emotionally supportive? This is the whole point. Security tools reduce risk. They don't remove responsibility. A firewall is a computer. An endpoint agent is software. A recovery environment is an operating system component. BitLocker isn't a magical force field. Defender isn't a holy relic. And Microsoft isn't your outsourced judgment. My verdict: be furious at Microsoft for the trust boundary failures and the slow, foggy corporate response. Be irritated with the researcher for turning disclosure into theatre, but be most furious at any IT provider who looks at this and says, nothing to worry about, it needs physical access. That isn't risk management. That's putting the kettle on while the shed burns down. GreatXML and RoguePlanet aren't the end of Windows security. They're worse than that. They're reminders that the parts we trust most still need supervision. The recovery environment needs hardening. Defender needs patching. BitLocker needs sensible configuration. Logs need watching. And vendors need to remember that shared responsibility doesn't mean we share the marketing, you keep the blast radius. Because when the security tool becomes the attack path, the correct response isn't calm brand management. It's engineering, it's transparency, it's patching, and yes, it's a little bit of shouting, because apparently that's how we get updates now.
This is a hot take from the small business cybersecurity guy.